Welcome to our guide on maximizing control of your retirement by rolling over your Roth 401k after leaving a job. In this video, we'll explain why separation from service unlocks your Roth 401k, how a direct rollover into a Roth IRA works, and how the IRS Five-Year Rule applies. We'll also walk through the step-by-step process, highlight common pitfalls, and share practical tips. To begin, let's outline the agenda so you know exactly what's coming next. Here's our plan. First, we'll cover why rolling over your Roth 401k can be beneficial. Next, we'll show you how to do a direct rollover correctly. Then, we'll clarify the IRS Five-Year Rule and how it impacts tax-free and penalty-free withdrawals of earnings. After that, we'll compare costs and control across options, go over pitfalls and pro tips, and quiz you with short knowledge checks. Now, before we dive in, let's start with the big idea behind this move. The core concept is straightforward. Once you separate from service, your Roth 401k funds generally become eligible for a direct rollover into a Roth IRA. Financial experts often recommend this because IRAs can offer lower administrative costs and a far broader set of investment choices than most employer plans. Additionally, consolidating accounts can simplify your financial life and improve oversight. With that foundation set, let's move into why this move is often attractive. There are several compelling reasons to roll over a Roth 401k into a Roth IRA after leaving an employer. First, many IRAs come with lower or no administrative fees compared to employer plans. Second, IRAs typically offer a wider universe of investments, including a broader range of index funds, ETFs, and specialized strategies. Third, consolidating accounts simplifies monitoring, record-keeping, and rebalancing. Finally, managing beneficiaries and providers can be easier under one roof. Now that you understand the why, let's proceed to the how, the direct rollover process you should follow. Here's the step-by-step process. First, open or identify your Roth IRA at your chosen custodian. Next, initiate the direct rollover through the receiving institution, the Roth IRA custodian, rather than contacting the old employer plan first. This reduces errors and ensures proper tracking. Then, make sure it's a Roth to Roth transfer to preserve the Roth character of your funds. Ask the custodian to separately track contributions, conversions, and earnings. Request a trustee-to-trustee transfer to avoid receiving a check, which can create withholding or timing issues. After completion, set your investments, update beneficiaries, and keep all confirmations and tax forms. With the process in hand, let's clarify the IRS Five-Year Rule and what it affects. This timeline illustrates three concurrent clocks. First, if you already have a Roth IRA, its 5-year clock typically determines when the earnings portion across your Roth IRA can be withdrawn tax-free as part of a qualified distribution, assuming other conditions like age are met. Second, rolling a Roth 401k into a Roth IRA is permitted and does not reset the Roth IRA's 5-year clock. The rollover simply transfers balances, and the earnings thereafter are subject to the Roth IRA's existing clock. Third, any amounts that originated from traditional to Roth conversions have their own 5-year penalty clock for withdrawing converted principal before age 59.5. These clocks interact, so you must track them carefully. Next, let's deepen this with a concise markdown guide you can reference. This quick reference emphasizes that the rollover is permitted and does not reset the Roth IRA's 5-year clock. Usually, your existing Roth IRA's 5-year period governs whether distributions of earnings are qualified. At the same time, any converted principal has its own 5-year penalty clock for withdrawals before age 59.5. Post-rollover, your funds are consolidated in the Roth IRA, and the Roth IRA's clock is what matters for earnings. Be careful to distinguish contributions, conversions, and earnings. They are tracked separately. Also note that employer matching contributions are generally pre-tax and should roll to a traditional account, not the Roth IRA. Now, let's compare staying in the old plan versus rolling to a Roth IRA. On the left, keeping assets in your old Roth 401k might offer institutional share classes and a familiar interface, but it often comes with a limited investment menu and potentially higher administrative fees. It can also complicate your overall retirement picture if you have multiple old plans. On the right, rolling into a Roth IRA typically provides wider investment choices, lower administrative costs, and easier consolidation, along with more flexibility in choosing a custodian and managing beneficiaries. The trade-off is that you are responsible for selecting and maintaining your investment lineup. Next, let's quantify some of these differences with a quick cost and feature table. This table provides a generalized comparison. Old Roth 401k plans may carry around 0.5% in administrative fees and offer a limited fund menu with average expense ratios around 0.4%, though specifics vary. By contrast, many Roth IRAs can have little to no administrative fees and access to a wide array of investments with lower expense ratios. The availability of third-party tools and advice is also typically broader with an IRA. With this context, let's test your understanding with a quick question. Question: which statement is true regarding the IRS 5-year rule and rolling over a Roth 401k into a Roth IRA? Options: A. The 5-year rule blocks rollovers for 5 years after leaving your job. B. The rollover restarts the Roth IRA 5-year clock automatically. C. The rollover is allowed. The existing Roth IRA 5-year clock usually governs earnings for qualified distributions. D. The rollover converts Roth contributions into pre-tax dollars. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is C. The rollover is permitted and does not reset your Roth IRA's 5-year clock. Generally, the existing Roth IRA clock governs whether earnings qualify for tax-free treatment, subject to other requirements such as age. Now, let's reinforce a related operational detail with a second quick question. Question: who should you contact first to initiate the direct rollover for your Roth 401k after leaving a job? Options: A. Your former employer's HR desk. B. The old 401k plan record keeper. C. The receiving institution, your Roth IRA custodian. D. The IRS. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is C. Initiating through the receiving Roth IRA custodian helps ensure proper coding and tracking and minimizes errors. With that clarified, let's cover a few pitfalls to avoid so your rollover goes smoothly. Beware of indirect rollovers where a check is mailed to you. These can trigger withholding and timing risk. Instead, use a trustee-to-trustee transfer. Ensure the Roth 401k dollars go to a Roth IRA and that any pre-tax matching dollars go to a traditional IRA. Maintain separate tracking for contributions, conversions, and earnings. Review the IRA's investment options, costs, and tools before transferring. Finally, keep all documentation, including confirmations and tax forms such as the 1099-R and 5498. Up next, let's visualize fee savings with a quick diagram for perspective. This pie chart breaks down typical sources of potential savings from moving an old Roth 401k to a Roth IRA. A significant portion may come from eliminating or reducing administrative fees. Another large component often comes from lower expense ratios available in certain IRA investment options. Smaller shares might come from reduced trading or commission costs and miscellaneous fee improvements. While these are illustrative, your actual savings will depend on your specific plan and chosen investments. Now, before we wrap up, let's include an important disclaimer to keep everything in perspective. This content is educational and not individualized financial, tax, or legal advice. Your circumstances, plan documents, and custodian policies may vary. Consult a qualified professional for personalized guidance before taking action. With that in mind, let's capture the key takeaways. The highlights are as follows. After separating from service, you can typically perform a direct rollover from a Roth 401k to a Roth IRA. The rollover itself is permitted and not blocked by the 5-year rule. Rather, the rule determines when earnings become qualified for tax-free withdrawal. Your existing Roth IRA's 5-year clock typically applies to earnings if you already have one. Converted principal has its own 5-year penalty clock if you are under age 59.5. Always initiate the process through the receiving custodian for accurate tracking. Finally, consider the potential for lower fees, broader investment options, and simplified management within a Roth IRA. To conclude, let's summarize the action steps. In summary, open or confirm your Roth IRA, initiate the direct rollover with the receiving custodian, verify that the transfer is coded as Roth to Roth, and ensure proper tracking for contributions, conversions, and earnings. Next, set your asset allocation, update beneficiaries, and retain all confirmations and tax documents. With your plan in place, here's a final note and call to action. Thank you for watching. If this video helped, please like, share, and subscribe. Share your thoughts and questions in the comments so we can keep creating content that serves you best. We appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you in the next video.